Thank you again for joining me, Mr. Burnett. Before we cut to commercial break, you were contrasting China vis-a-vis North America and their emissions. Carry on with what you were saying before I had to cut to commercial.
Well, our emissions have gone down. China's have not just gone up; they're continuing to go up. They're adding new coal fuel power plants every day. And mind you, I don't think that that's wrong for them. They've got billions of people. They got millions of people in poverty. They need to raise them out of poverty. It's demand of those people, justified demand. But the point is, if you don't get China on board, if you don't get India on board, if you don't get other fast-growing countries that are adding emissions on board, you're not going to cut emissions.
So are you saying that what we do here is sort of in North America would be a drop in a bucket compared to what's actually happening with our eastern neighbors?
Well, that's correct. That's correct. And yet the same people who complain, who say the U.S. is killing the planet, who say Europe is killing the planet, not doing enough, they praise China. And that tells me that it's not climate they're really concerned about. It's about control. They praise China's one-child policy. They think population is the real problem, and not because of emissions, but because they view the world as a playground for wealthy elites. Those who are really concerned about this.
No, that's okay. No, I just want to give some context to our viewers. So when you say they, you're talking about climate alarmists, but what percentage or how many people really are climate alarmists? Is this a prevalent ideology?
Well, it's leadership of major environmental organizations. It's wealthy elites in this country who will benefit from either through money or power the policies put in place to fight climate change. It's not a large percentage, but a large percentage never has to be involved. All they have to do is convince the public to vote for people who they're funding to get policies done. I don't have the statistics in front of me, but I have heard that the American Revolution, 3% of the American population at the time supported the rebels, 3% supported the crown, and the rest of them just wanted to stay out of the way. Wow. It doesn't take a lot of people to motivate change. And these are powerful people. They're people not just with the ears of government, but in government, because they're benefiting from power. They're benefiting from money. They are the industrial base that's going to replace fossil fuels, right? The billionaires who are benefiting from the massive subsidies for wind and solar, who want to shut down the utilities, who say, yeah, we're more than willing to shut down our power plants if you want us to, and build wind and solar, so long as you give us cost plus 10 or 15% profit. And of course, if the power grid collapses, well, that's on you. We designed a power grid. We designed a power grid. Engineers designed our current power grid. Politicians are now designing the new power grid, and they ain't engineers.
Well, we saw what happened in Texas with that massive winter storm last year, where things just collapsed.
Correct.
But there is concern. Like some say, climate change is, for example, a greater threat than even COVID, or for those who are concerned with COVID, and greater and stricter long-term conditions and restrictions are actually necessary. That even here in the West, if we took some measures, that even though maybe a drop in the bucket, but that would be a good thing. How do you respond to that?
Well, I hear that. And I guess my answer is I want evidence. If you're asking us to fundamentally change our economy, our political systems, the way we live, telling us when we can travel, what kind of appliances we can have in our homes, what kind of energy system we can have. If you want that kind of fundamental transformation, show me the evidence. And so I look for it. What does the IPCC says, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, UN's authoritative body? Do they say, I hear it all the time in the media, hurricanes worse than ever, more hurricanes than ever. Is that what the evidence shows? No, that's not what the data shows. Wildfires worse than ever.
And this is data according from the UN IPCC.
From the UN, from the US government. It's data from, you can go to any source of hard data, and you don't find more hurricanes have occurred now than before. You don't find that hurricanes are more powerful now than before. You don't find that wildfires are greater in number or more severe now than before. You don't find that droughts, and if you read the body of the document, not the executive summaries from the IPCC, because that's written by politicians,